What's up, Buzz Squad? It's your boy Dalton, back at it again with a deck profile for Buddyfight. Oh, I finally finished the deck to where I wanted it to be, to showcase it to you guys. Oh, it's the struggle, man. It's the struggle. So we got Dimension Dragons for you today, which is going to be fun. I'm going to be showcasing my Lost World deck as well. You can roast me or whatever you want. Even how I pronounce the names of some of the cards. That's cool too. I don't care. More power to you. So let's get right into it, right? Let's go. Alrighty, guys. Let's get into this Dimension Dragon deck profile I got here for you. And I will be showcasing my Lost World deck because it'd be weird if I didn't. So I'm running Epsi as my buddy just because I could check top 6 and grab some more Dimension Dragons or Lost World from it. Kind of straightforward in my opinion. It would be Agonia, but I only have very limited amounts of Agonia. I wish I had more. Speaking of which, I run 3 Agonias. I only think you need to run 3, especially the way that my deck's designed. I think if you're running 4, it's overkill. I think running a lot of 4s of the main resource gainers is overkill in my opinion. I think 3 is perfect and it just works out well for the deck. For a long time I only had 2 copies and it was still working just fine. So 4 is overkill, 3 I think is just right. You can run less, or if you want to, run 4. Other size 3 I run Zorun. I know a lot of people don't run them. I do like running them, just checking the top 3, kind of rearranging things the way that I want them. Especially say if I have a card that can draw me 2 more cards afterwards. I feel it's quite nice. Or if I use Arcos to be the card that pitched from this skill to be like, alright, I want to get rid of that card, I want to see it, but I want this other card as well. So yeah, size 3s. Only size 2, obviously, is the buddy. Like I said, pitch a card, check top 6, put 2 Dimension Dragons or Lost World from among them into your hand, and put the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. It's quite nice, getting rid of cards that you necessarily don't need, per se. Size 1s, run 4 Ankos, because his discard skill is fantastic. When he's discarded, gauge and draw, and then if Lost World, draw an additional card. I run 3 Chrismatas, because draw never hurts. Let's be real, it never hurts. Run 2 Disturb Hand Dragons, just because I like cheesing my opponents a little bit. I know this really pisses off Christian when he's playing his Garga deck. I'm like, and to end it off, I'm going to call this Disturb Hand and just sit there and pass it off to you. And then you have to waste your resources trying to get rid of it. It's fantastic. The only size 0 is basically the pseudo negate. I'm not going to try to say his name. I was trying to practice all the names beforehand, and I'm just like, this name's not going to go well for me. But I run 4 of him. You could run less, just because you do have other negates, and if you're really sitting there in Dragon World with this deck for too long, you're doing something wrong, in my opinion. But it doesn't hurt to have 4 just to draw more, especially if you get into Lost and then proceed to keep drawing out of your Lost deck. I run 3 Karchene. That's it. That's all we're going to do. The Spirit Gun. Because more draw power is always nice, and also just having an item right away to go into Lost World is nice as well. Just more draw. Don't really care about the stand effect. It's just mainly for the draw. Obviously, make sure you target your Dimension Dragon. Don't be like in the World Finals. 2 Lost Flags. Had to do the Ace one. I just like the Ace version better than the Secret one. Was it? Yeah, there was a Secret one. Then the Secret one, and obviously more than the Start deck one, or Trial deck, I guess. Pretty straightforward. This would not be a Dimension Dragon deck if you had no Lost World. Into spells, I run 4D alterations, negate, basically ending your opponent's attack phase after 3 attacks, which is fantastic. Run 3D together, getting rid of your cards during your opponent's turn, especially if it's an Agonia, to get effects proccing and destroying a card on your opponent's field and getting a Dragonite per Legend off of it. 3D suction, same story, getting rid of your cards during your opponent's turn basically, and drawing more cards, getting into Lost World faster. Run 3 Loss of D if you just want to be cheeky and bring back an Agonia once you're in Lost World, or if somehow you lose both your Lost World flags and they're both in your drop, you can take it out from there. Tomb of Seeding Sacrifice, because Agonia is a size 3, and why not try to call it during your opponent's turn? And I guess defensive purposes. 2 Lost Stones, just because the +2/+2 is fantastic for a lot of things, and the fact that it's a pseudo negate as well, that you could be running with your Lost World just to keep things going and protecting things or making sure you're not taking too much damage. 2 Decoding for gauge ramp, just in case your opponent somehow gets rid of all of your gauge during their turn, so that you can't go into Lost World and be like, yeah, nah, I think I want to go into Lost World. 1D Barrier, just another negate, just to have more draw power. 1D Decline, just to discard your Uncos and in case you need more defensive cards. 1 Dragonic Exchange, check your gauge, see if your Lost Worlds are in there. And 1 Drago Trap to just stop massive swingers that can't be negated or something. Like, nah, you won't attack, but I'm not going to rest you either. So fantastic. So let's get into the Lost World deck. We have 3 Husk Destroyers. Kind of have to be running it. You could be running 4. I only have 3 copies. One of them being this lovely Broderick. Kind of straightforward. It's kind of a main card you need to be running. If you're not running it, let me know. I want to know other deck lists that don't run Destroyers. We got 3 Noitedad. Said that completely wrong. Noitedad. You obviously don't have to be running 3. I'm just running 3 just because I kind of felt like it. You could probably just run 1 because that's all you really need of it. But I'm also waiting for more Lost World stuff to come out to bump it down to that 1 and see what's going to replace it. 2 Start Deck Destroyers, just because maybe getting the bounce off, say somehow a card, that rare time a card has that it can't be moved anywhere. Like, all right, that's cool. Can't be moved into other zones. So that's cool. Or if you just don't see the OG Destroyer, still getting a Destroyer out there. 2 the Scythe, just because nullifying abilities and getting rid of a card, really effective against Electro Deities, getting rid of their item because they really can't do too much. Well, can't really do that. Who am I thinking of? I can't remember exactly who, but you have to run this card. It's too good not to run. I run 1 Fulgogoin. Just calling stuff during each attack phase is nice. Bringing back your Destroyer if your opponent gets rid of it. Agonia, just to getting more advantage and so forth. I like it. It might get bumped up to 2. I'm not sure yet. It's probably one of my favorite Lost World cards that has been released. 1 Skull. It's okay. It could have been better. It seemed better when it was initially like spoiled and so forth, but now that it's here and it's kind of been around, it's like, it's actually not that great because there's a lot of cards that protect cards from being destroyed by card effects, so it's a little weaker. I would never bump it up anymore. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. I have 2 lossless Buster. Only pulled 2 secret packs, so it's the only reason why I have 2. I would definitely be running it at 3, but 2 is also fine. It's just more discard on your opponent, really, because you don't want to overdraw once you hit Lost World, because then you're going to deck out faster. But still a fantastic card. Spells, 3-dimension absorbs. I just like this negate better than the one that came out in the start deck, which is deal damage equal to the crit. I'd rather have a guaranteed deal damage instead of, oh, my opponent's monster happens to have 0. Well, that was a waste of a card. 2-dimension draws, just because you're only running 30 cards, so it makes sense. So you don't overdraw or anything like that. And it's still nice and decent. You get to discard some cards you don't want in hand. So say you have 2 Ankos in hand too, and be like, oh, I'll just pitch those and gain more advantage as well. 2 breeding. Who can argue with a double Dragon Emperor Legend? I know I can't. That's basically why it's here. 2 life stream, because gaining 10 life at random is nice, or setting your opponent back down to 10 if they're all of a sudden at like 50 life, which is nice. 2 revive, just to keep bringing back stuff and be able to swing big with them. Quite simple. 1-dimensional deny. I only like running 1. You could run obviously more. I know a lot of people like to. Just in my personal preference, I only like the 1. 1 jamming. Just with Recovery Veil being out there, it's becoming less and less desirable to be running this card. So that's my thing. 1 Vanity Cells, just in case you know you're going up against somebody who's heavy into impact use. You're like, no, we're not going to allow that to happen. I don't want to take that damage. And to wrap off the Lost World deck, we got that 0 Blazer. I don't really use it that often, but it's still nice just to have a finisher there, just in case your opponent nullifies all of your other attacks. Typically, in our group, I haven't had to really use it, unless I want to be cheeky. But yeah, that basically wraps up my Dimension Dragon deck with Lost World deck. I don't think it's anything too special. I do like it. It is a fun deck. It's definitely a strong deck as well. But yeah, let me know what you think of this deck and what I should be running and so forth in the Lost World or in Dimension Dragons. Make sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell to get the notifications though. Join our Instagram. Follow us. Join our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord. Join our Patreon if you want to support us. Check out our shop. All links will be in the description down below. And above all else, stay classy, y'all.